Resume and answer any questions you have. We'll start there. And then I thought about some of the things that we talked about in the past, like more so like responding to once you figure out the marketing. A lot of questions have been around the marketing research and getting to know your clients. And once you have that information, now how do you respond?
Right. Yeah, no, I think so one win that I had recently was I went to a notary event. So I'm a part of this notary group. And we were introducing ourselves, and one of the ladies had mentioned that she was the mother of this estate planning attorney that literally we were supposed to meet the week before, me and the daughter, but our schedules conflicted, and so we weren't able to meet. So anyway, in this networking group, it was her mom that was there. And her mom was there because her mom is a notary working for her daughter, right?
Okay.
And so so after the introductions, I went over to her and I said, "Oh my gosh, I just have been in consultation with your daughter, over the past week, and we couldn't connect last week because of schedules." But anyway, we got into a really good conversation, and it turned out that she is a notary, but she's actually trying to scale back from working with her daughter because it's too much for her. And so she was like, "I'll be sure to tell my daughter that I saw you in person." Anyway, long story short, we ended up meeting via connection call last week. And
Awesome.
yeah, so it was kind of a long way around it, but it's funny, when you show up in places, you never know who will be there. So it was just kind of funny how that's connected in that way. And so we met and we talked for a long time, and yeah, she's excited about exploring this opportunity with me so that she can kind of focus on other things that she's doing. And so I sent her like my rate sheet, and yeah, so my next step with her, she said she didn't have anything in the works right now in terms of estate planning client. She's still working through some existing clients and working with them, but she let me know if there became an opportunity for me to meet with her clients to do their notarization. So yay.
Well, I'm glad I trained you well because I forgot to ask the wins, and you started off with the wins. I'm glad. I was like, "Oh, I trained you
well." So yeah, so that was nice. Yeah, that was a nice win. And then like a couple of days later, so this is kind of a little going off topic, but my daughter's aftercare center was asking me if I knew of any persons that we could bring in to meet with the other families around things like budgeting and just random topics. And I said, "Oh, I think I might have a person," because and I said, "I know a estate planning attorney that could come in and talk about some estate planning fundamentals to other parents." So just kind of opening that door for her as well, and then as well as for me. So yeah.
Yeah, and that's how it starts off. You never know that what came out of that. So because that ask from the aftercare came after you met her.
After,
Yeah, it's like
yeah.
you see how it's kind of
It's like
like tumble.
a
It
snow,
keeps
yeah, like a
tumbling and
snowball.
opening and
Mm-hmm.
expanding, and then she'll come back and hopefully have an opportunity
To
for
present,
you,
yeah, yeah,
or you can collaborate on that one.
yeah, 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 yeah. That's the goal. So, um, yeah, and um, so that was kind of one and two things, and then the third thing was, um, I did a notarization at our library not too long ago. Found a newspaper, like this a small community in Belleville. You know, they still have an independent newspaper.
Yes.
So I went through the classifieds in the back, and like literally, did I tell you this? I picked out, it was a funeral
Yeah. You said that
director.
you were going through it, and I think when we talked last, you had just gotten the paper and you were reaching out. So I don't know if
Yeah,
you've gotten any feedback, what the
yeah. So the
results were.
funeral director. So I reached out to the funeral director. Just I don't know why, but then they called me to come visit. And
Yeah.
yeah, so that was one that I reached out to. And then another one, I reached out to her. She didn't respond back, but it just so happened, this is crazy. I back to the newspaper. I was curious about advertising in the newspaper. So I went to the headquarters, in Belleville to talk to the advertising people about, how much it does it cost to do a little business card print ad. And literally right next door to that office was an estate planning attorney that was in the independent newspaper that I reached out to but had never responded back to me.
Okay.
And so I just knocked on the door, just to see if she was there. And she was there. And so, yeah, we had a nice conversation. And I didn't know that her office was literally going to be right next
Right.
door to the. So, yeah. So it was
You're
just like,
you've been a busy little bee, busy bee, busy bee, all good
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah. And so, yeah, so that was a nice connection to make. And then she was saying like a lot of her clientele are older, like more elderly and have a hard time, driving. So this would be a nice service for her clientele.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So when's the first one who's she working with now? Do you get into all that? Like,
So she's a notary herself.
okay,
Um,
okay, that would save her time
some
in
time.
yeah.
Yeah,
Instead of
yeah.
going out, she can have you
Mm-hmm.
them come to you or you go to
You
them
go
or
to
whatever.
them. Yeah. And I told her, I said, yeah, I can print the documents, and I can, if you have a special way bind them, we could work through those details. So like you're really hands off of the
Oh,
administrative
that is
processes.
helpful.
Yeah. And she said, oh, you do that too? And so
Oh,
yeah.
crap. Yeah. Yeah. That that is helpful. How
Yeah.
is it doing that? Um, gosh, that is you should feel proud. Do you feel proud?
Yeah, I do. I mean, it's funny. Like I was just telling my husband how just taking those seemingly small steps, you just never know what's waiting for you.
Yeah, because yeah, that's what you said. Seemingly small, but
Yeah,
but yeah,
seemingly, because you never know
but
where the
but
opportunities,
the door will open up.
yeah, where they are.
So, what questions have come up for you before I get into trying to present this?
Um, so I still have questions around like the follow up, right? So I've made two connections in the past, week, right? And so um just trying to organize myself to remember to follow up, like I feel like the magic sometimes is in the follow up. But just, right now creating some systems, so that
Yep.
it's less administrative for me in a way, because it adds one more thing to my to-do list. um
Uh,
and so I'm playing with a couple things.
So you've gotten to you're at the point you've gotten, so you're going through, I made, I'm getting the leads. You're going through the process of you got an offer, you're putting it out there, and now you're getting leads.
Right.
I want to keep up with them.
Yeah. Yep. How do I
Oh,
manage them? And then
let me
um
see. I don't know. Let me see. I just want to make sure I stick to the um in the modern offer hub. If I even go through, I don't think we describe it, we announce it, we sell it. And then what about is it, do I talk about that? Post follow-up, no, that's after they purchase. Um Sales plan, we don't, I don't know, but I just want to make sure I stick to partner collaborations. You're already doing that, you're announcing it. All about getting some okay. So no, I don't go into that. So maybe I go into the next level. So but the first thing I would think about, you want to make it easy. How can we make it simple? What would
mhm,
be the simplest? What would be make it simple for you?
mhm,
The end goal to, the end goal is to, because you've announced, you went over there, you announced it, but now you want to get them to it's basically your sales funnel, map out your customer journey. Okay, I guess
mhm.
that's the customer journey. So that is 4.1 in the modules, sales funnel design.
Okay.
Map out the customer journey. So now the first step was they met you. So if the customer journey is they meet you live in real
Mm,
person, in real life, and then the next step is you've gotten their information, because
mhm,
a lead is um, someone or organization that you can actually contact and
mhm,
follow up
mhm.
with. So you have that. So now when you are after you get now you turn around and introduce the opportunity, you need to introduce yourself and what you do
Yeah.
and invite them to an offer.
Okay. Okay.
So, and that offer doesn't necessarily have to be paid. So for example, over the past couple of days, I've had quite a few, I got a stack of business cards here because I've had quite a few of networking events and collected some information. So this morning I was doing
Okay.
it's kind of like the same thing. I'm inviting, but the invite is to an event that I'm hosting.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So so um, the follow up was just nice to meet you and email a little snippet about the event or save the date, a little snippet about what I do,
Yeah.
and here's so and I really want them to stay in contact with me. So although I'm
Mm,
adding them to my list, and I told them I'm adding you to the VIP list because you'll be the first to know. Also, um, I want through the sales funnel, you want to get many yeses along the way.
mhm.
So I invited them to join the Facebook group.
Okay.
That's a mini, I consider that a mini yes.
A mini
Um,
yes. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So if you join my Facebook, then a mini yes, meaning that I've, I'm thinking that whatever I said in the email or whatever I'm saying is something that aligns with you, and I want you to be a part of my tribe, or you want to be a part of my tribe. So we can be business besties if that aligns with you.
Right.
If they don't join or if they remove themselves from the email list, that's fine too. Then they
Right.
self-eliminated themselves and I
Okay.
don't have to follow up with them. So what would make it easy for you to get them to that next, whatever that next step is? What is the next
Okay.
step after
Mhm.
meeting you?
Yeah. Yeah. So I think the next step for me is or the next step I think would be for them is to I guess for me, it would be making sure that I stay top of mind for them, right?
Right.
So when they get that next client, something sparks in their head, that says, oh, I can use a mobile notary for this. Maybe I have this elderly client, right, that seemingly it's hard for them to come to my office to talk and finalize the paperwork. So how do I stay top of mind so that I become on their preferred list?
Correct. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's what you
So
need to think about. What are you
what
inviting
would
them
that
to
look like?
do
Mhm.
or follow you somewhere, or it could be a newsletter, it can be social media, um, a blog. I'm getting my blog together. So it could be, multiple ways. So I have, my what I consider three things that are free that I show up at is the
Mhm.
social media and my blog.
Mhm. Mhm.
So those are free ways in those um in those um avenues, then they're invited to become a client, or I invite you to other stuff. But so what you have to think about what that is, um for you to keep them in your, I call it stay in your orbit. How do you keep
Orbit.
them?
Yeah. Yeah. Keep on.
How do you keep them engaged in your orbit? So it can,
Yeah.
or it can be simply just a news, an email. And maybe your clients, like they didn't know, I didn't know about you print the documents off. That's an email reminder right there to send out.
Mhm.
And create a whole little email sequence for the whole month for that. How much money how much time it can be saved, and
Mhm. Yeah. No, that sounds good.
I wouldn't say don't overthink it.
Yeah, keep it.
The
That's
most
why I'm
logical
trying
step.
to, yeah, I'm trying not to overthink. It's actually freeing because it's just like I don't have to devote so much energy and time, just
Yeah. What
just
would
to,
be based upon your your life, and what's the easiest thing to stay in contact
Mhm.
with them? Because you can't
Right
show up at
now.
everybody's office, because like that would just happen. So now that you have,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would say just email right now. Um, Email and accompanied by a little bit of social media. Um, I think that would be. I haven't gone down the blog road yet.
Mhm.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely email. I can do. Um, and just I guess in my head, I'm just visualizing a couple of like highlights that just really, not anything wordy, but just what value, identifying quickly and concisely, like what value I could maybe just bring.
Yeah,
Um,
just go through the conversation that you had with her that you just showed me. I mean, that you just told me about.
mhm, mhm. Yeah. So,
It doesn't have to be the whole thing. Take the conversation and split it into 4 different emails. That's
yeah,
a
right.
that's a month, because attention spans are short, and if you just focus on one idea in each email, then
Hmm.
you can
Yeah, I can
expand it that
stretch it
way.
out. Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, I could definitely do that. Um,
Oh, let's see. How can I present this? Full screen? Okay. I don't know. I didn't take notes. I just kind of wrote this out. I did something new. Were there any other questions? Because I do want to.
No,
If you
yeah,
how much time do we have? Okay, so we're gonna let's see. I'm going to figure out. I'm gonna put it back on speaker and um. I want and I don't know. I don't want to stop your. Do I want to stop your video? Let's see what happens. I'm gonna stop your video.
okay.
Oh no, that's not what I wanted to do. No,
Oh,
I didn't know.
so
Okay. I just okay,
so
I just put you back. So put your video back on.
okay.
Um,
So I'd say to start my video.
yeah. I know. I didn't think
Okay.
it was gonna do that. Okay.
Uh-oh, I lost you. Hold on. Okay, there you go.
Let's see if this awesome. There it goes. Did that are you seeing my
Yeah.
screen?
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
So like I was saying, this came out of our conversations with I'm like, okay, you're doing all that market research, but I'm like, okay, so you get the market research. So now what do you say after you get it with these because they're giving you all their objections.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what I wrote. You're stepping into the ring ready to take on the world with your business, but guess what? Your customers have got some real talk for you. They got gripes. And if you're smart, you're going to listen up and fix them. Here's the lowdown on what's bugging them and how to make it right. So this is the money grapes. It costs too
Okay.
much.
It costs too much. Yeah, yeah,
Your stuff might be great, but if it's making your customers' wallets cry, they're bouncing. Show them
yeah.
the bang for their buck. Break down the value like you're explaining it to your grandma.
Okay, okay.
So how do you come back to that? You hook them up. You would like a sweet deal. You can do payment plans, um,
Mm-hmm.
early bird specials, or loyalty discounts.
Okay.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
that would be just some thoughts, but the point is to address it without sacrificing your business revenue
Right, right.
that you're addressing it because you are
Okay,
a business.
right. The hassle
Oh, this
grapes.
is what I get. So why is this so complicated? And so the hassle guard, sometimes it's not why is this so complicated? It's not about your product. It's just they don't in their mind it's one more thing to do and they're making it more complicated. Or if they feel like the process is complicated, even though it may not
Mm,
be. So if buying from you is like solving a Rubik's cube, you're going to lose folks. That's why I was saying make it easy, make it stupid
yeah.
easy. But oh, I would make it stupid.
Yeah.
Make it.
Yeah.
How can we make it easy? Whether it's buying or signing up, it should be smoother than your morning latte.
Yeah.
Um, Keep the lines open. Feedback is your BFF. Listen, tweak, and repeat. So
Repeat. Yeah.
just how can we make it easy for them to buy
Yeah.
which is so for example the woman that the attorney you just met, who was her next client when I would have you could have asked her right then and there on the spot who's
Right.
next one that you have to go to, where are they located? Okay, I can make that. I can do that for you. Or
Yeah.
what would have made it easy?
Hmm.
Um,
Another piece to that is,
mhm.
and I don't know, sorry, I don't know what the subsequent slides are, but there's nothing wrong with a test and trial period too, because I think
Yes,
sometimes, at least what I'm noticing is it's like, because people don't understand what they don't know, or if it
right.
hasn't played out, um, it's like, oh, I don't really understand it. And so someone had told me, just maybe it's would you be willing to just try me out one time? Like, it's not a commitment that you have to use me every time, but it's like, let's, you know,
Yep, and I would caveat that out. I would bring that back around because they always want you to get something from it. So if you give that, if I did a good job, could you give me a
Mm,
testimonial?
okay. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So if you're giving to you, so in that, so you can use it as your marketing. If I did a good job, I'm going to, give you this um
Hmm.
provide the service for you in exchange for a testimony.
Gotcha.
If you did a good job. If I do a good
Right.
job, always prefer that. If I did a good job, would you give me a positive testimonial?
Hmm.
Um, you just made me think about something else. What? Oh, I just lost it. Um,
Sorry.
no, because why is it so complicated? So maybe it'll come back to me. Um, okay, just think we got plenty of things that will be hard. Nothing's
Hmm.
but within our control. How can we make it easy for ourselves and also easy for them?
Yeah, yeah.
Um oh, I was going to say that. Yeah, I was going to say I actually incorporated what you just said. So and when I'm putting together the memberships, I incorporated the 7-day um guarantee.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
looking at
Yeah.
review in the beginning of the with the
Yeah.
with so yeah, what you said, I've also incorporated that. It seems to work.
Hmm.
The ghosting gripes. Hello, anyone
Yeah.
there? Customers hate being ghosted more than a bad Tinder date. So be there like a superhero, quick, helpful, and maybe with a cape if that's your thing.
Yeah.
So how I guess how not to ghost them. Sometimes I feel like I do that. Although I think I have enough content out there that I see people going through like old content. So I feel like I'm not ghosting, but sometimes
Mm,
I feel like if I'm not doing something like every day on social media, I'm ghosting. The past week I felt that way, but then I saw people liking stuff from like October and September. I'm like,
yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Okay.
We put that
Um,
pressure on ourselves. I feel like I'm going through the same thing right now as I'm developing my social media marketing. Like, oh my God, if I don't post today, like I'm gonna be a thing of the past, and it's just like at the end of the day, I don't like no one is really following me that hard.
yeah, yeah, I have to remember that, but it's all in my head. So, um, DIY help. Stock your website with FAQs, and I think you have that. And we talked about this before, guides and videos. Make it a treasure trove, help yourself. So
Yeah.
that's one of the things that I'm working on now is getting my blog page up, which I think I'm making it more harder than what it needs to be. I need to take my own advice and keep it simple.
Yeah.
Um, and just get it up because I have content. I
Yeah.
have the page. I do have the page.
You just
And
have to.
I do, and it's funny because I do have it's just not as pretty as I would like. What I need to do is get everything out there. And then in phase two,
Hmm.
I call it phase two. Right now, phase one is to do the DIY help and put
Hmm.
everything out there. Phase two will come back around, and then I will have somebody that's more professional, that is a professional, that their thing is websites. My thing is not websites. I can do
Okay.
it, but there are people out there
Yeah. Oh
who
yeah.
really can't
Yeah,
do it.
definitely.
So um, this could be part of the flow that we were just talking
Mm,
about, the funnel, the DIY help. You get them to the next step. Okay, the next step is to here check out. Even if you invite them to go to your website, that would be the next step. Please check out my website at
yeah.
FAQ,
Yeah.
and you can take the FAQs. It is so many avenues, and I don't mean to overwhelm you or give you a lot of things that we just talked about, but you could take the FAQs, and that could be your emails.
Right.
All you're doing is repeating what you already have out there because people will forget and you need to remind them. So you already
Mm,
have it there.
yeah.
So your content could be just, summarizing the guides and the videos that you already have out there
Hmm.
to help yourself. Uh,
Right. Right.
So hello, anyone there that is
And I like that because that, sorry,
no, go ahead.
I have stock your website fact that creates the an image of expertise. You know, if you have your FAQs and your guides and your videos, like it gives you cred. You know that I know what I'm talking about. I know what the subject matter is. You know, and I understand how, you know, like beneficial it is to you in you know your in your business and of the services that I provide. So it's like another badge of honor.
Yeah, this isn't what I wanted, the product, right? So if your product was a movie, you don't want them walking out mid-show. So you want to keep it quality. No one likes a sequel that's worse than the original. I figured that.
Yeah, I know. It's a
So your move.
disappointing.
So you know, and I'm gonna go through each, and I think this good kind of like in the beginning, custom jobs. Can you tweak it, personalize it, um, uh, do it, make them feel like you've gotten their back. At the same time, I think the more important um, uh, thing I want to point out is to make them feel like you have their back. I can't necessarily say custom, you know, custom, especially in it's as you're a more mature business,
Yeah,
that gets harder.
right.
But you can still make people feel special,
Yeah.
um, and that you at least live up to what you promised them. Um, I think in the beginning, like with my coaching, because it's the beginning and there are smaller groups, that the individuals, like you have opportunities to get things tweaked and customized because you're crafting how this goes, kind of
Right.
like this. We took the
Right.
opportunity based upon our, you know, our conversations, and I took that into consideration. It's like, okay, what could be helpful for you right now based upon where you are? You've gotten the information, so now what do you do with it? So
Right.
that's in essence a way to tweak it um, to fit the community that you have. So just you know, pay attention to what the feedback is from your
Yeah.
client,
Yeah.
and how can you come back and make them feel as you're listening, and that you're customizing your product or service is customized for them,
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily that you're creating custom products or services
Product.
for each one.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like a custom experience
Yes,
more so.
because
Yeah.
because you wouldn't have enough time to have a social.
Right. To, yeah, do every job. Yeah. Retrofit it.
Right. Do they even care? The cold shoulder gripe. So, and this is all coming from customers. Customers want to feel the love, not that they're just another sale. Get personal, share your story, your dog's birthday, whatever makes you human. Your dog, yeah. So what in coming back around to what you're working on, um, a community is key. So get them talking to each other, host events, online hangouts or forums. I believe that you have is it Align? Uh,
Alignable. Mm-hmm.
alignable. The keep doing
Yeah.
if so maybe you take that as part of your process, your funnel. That's what the next step is, to
Mm-hmm.
invite them to
Mm-hmm.
join the
Mm-hmm.
alignable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, that's a good point. Yeah.
So um the yeah whatever you need to do to keep them in your orbit,
Mm-hmm.
that you can do consistently and keep build your community,
Yeah. Yeah.
because
Build
pick
the
where you're going to hang out. If that's maybe that's where you hang out, don't worry about the social media, hang out in alignable.
yeah. Yeah.
And
No,
then your alignable is what you post on social.
yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know, I
Kind
don't
of.
know anything about alignable. I know it's a community, a forum,
Mm-hmm.
but work it. I say always work it for 90 days and then
Yeah.
reevaluate evaluate whether or not this is worth your time and energy, effort,
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
time, energy, and attention. T.
Time, energy, effort, and
And attention.
attention. Teen.
Does it
Yeah,
get the
something like
T?
that.
Okay. So, wrapping up. You got this. It's about listening, being genuine, always aiming to make your customer's day just a bit better. Keep those tips in your back pocket and will turn gripes into high fives. Quick wins. All right, what do I have here? A checklist of quick fixes you can do today, because winning doesn't need to wait till tomorrow. I got, quick wins. Those were the quick wins. And I have,
Oh,
let me see. I didn't put, quick wins, because when does what? Quick wins, because quick wins you can do today. I'll think of some. I think I was going through the quick wins as I was
oh, you were.
on the presentation. All right, so you know how to find me. Hit me up. We could dive
Yeah.
deeper to making the customer happy. Your customers or clients happy. Oh, take one thing from today and put it into action, like right now. No excuses.
Yeah.
So out of the 5 things I share, what's the one thing that resonates with you? And let's go back to the beginning. Hook them up with a sweet deal.
No, I don't think it was that one. I think this is the one that I foresee, number 2. That will be right, because I get a sense just from the few state attorneys that I have either know personally or have heard them talk, like, offices are structured in a certain way, and then they get used to operating in a certain way. Like, we've always done it like this. Like, why would I ever want to change it? This has always worked, and so I think for me, this one will have to kind of be like the cape you talk about, so it's not just swooping in and like totally upheaving their office structure. Like, that's not what my aim is to do. It's to more or less be a complement, to what they're already doing in a sense, but
A
in
partner.
a partner, and not make it complicated, because I can, for like the law firm that I'm working on, like, they've delegated a lot of their work to me, in terms of printing and binding already, and so they were ready for that transition, where I don't know, I mean, it's part of kind of my market research, what does that transition look like in an office that's always had, an in-person notary, or, they're just so used to their clients coming in for their signing appointments. What is my like 5-point system, to ensuring that their clients are going to get, the same level of experience, excellence, but it just kind of looks a little different. And so I think that's going to be just my biggest challenge. What is that 5-point system to transition to how you've already been doing it, to how, a new modern way of doing it that will save you time, money, energy, effort, attention,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
and I came up with something in my the website developer. I have to redig it out. I had come up with a 5-point system. It was basically like a flow chart to kind of say, like, ideally this is how it would work. And then we kind of went back and forth, and she said, I don't know if you want to put this in yet, because it really might be custom to each law office, right? Like, the law office may not, they may not want that system that you have, and maybe there's another system that they would prefer, and so you don't want to um pigeonhole yourself into like it's your way or no way. You want to be
Yeah.
flexible enough to be able to listen and hear.
Yeah, I oh, I understand what you're saying, and I agree to a certain extent. So I think like in the beginning, when you're just starting off in business and your offers and you're gathering, you're new to
Mm-hmm.
business are making uh less than, if you've made less than 25,000, I think yes, that would probably be the case, because at that point you're kind of just more testing, and you don't want to
Mm-hmm.
put in a lot of attention to a specific framework that you may not stick with
Right.
and
Right.
people may not like. So you don't want to put a lot of time and energy, but it gets to a point where if you're generating some revenue and gaining traction, that you want to capture that in a framework that you can duplicate over and
Duplicate.
over
Right.
over again. So yes, that that is true what they're saying, but like with anything, when you're going through the growth steps of building your business, there are things that need to happen at each level. Like what I just said, you would have that framework, but you would not necessarily have that at the beginning. That might be at the next step
Okay.
two, step
Okay.
three. So yes, if you have it and you've been thinking about it, that's great. Um, then you get to the point where you start testing it out and you put it out there and you share it with people. But I wouldn't be so fixed on it, because it will adjust, because what the
Right.
action of you doing it will bring in what your clients will give back to you, you will adjust. But at the same time, people like to know, have a certain level of certainty of
Yeah.
what's
Yeah.
happening with you, and that gives clients an idea of what to expect from their engagement.
Okay.
So in
So
the
I'm
beginning, I would
thinking,
say, start
yeah.
verbally testing it out verbally. Like you said, you don't want to update the website, but verbally tell people what the process is and gauge their reaction to that, and what the how receptive they are to that process. And actually you doing the process, how does that feel for you? Does it actually work? Because it's one thing
Right.
to write it down, but when you actually do your process, you'll be like, oh, this is not
Right. This is not gonna
not as easy as I made this a little bit more complicated than what it needed to be. Or you might be missing some steps. Oh, I missed a step. I did not take under consideration that
right.
the time travel, that,
Right.
or I need to incorporate that into, my pricing a little bit better, or put extra cushion in the process, or the turnaround time
Right.
based upon that. And um yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
I think
maybe,
it's something to think
oh,
about, but I don't think that's something that's a project right now.
okay. Yeah. Yeah. No, it made sense because I was like, yeah, we're gonna do it like this, like this,
Y-
like this. And
Yeah,
she's like,
yeah,
we might wanna scale
yeah,
back
it
on
does
that a
make
little bit.
sense. That's at the next level.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We gotta get through.
Get to the next level.
Yeah.
All
No,
right, so let me stop my share.
but no, I like that because it's yeah, it's some clear, like tangible challenges, right? Some customer gripes that you can easily identify. It's some basic categories, of what their gripes are, and how to overcome and push through, as a product or service here, how to push through it. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna stop the recording.